the dog whistle in for a tuba, folks. Only the best people. These Republicans, they get all nuts when you say they're weird. Here's Congressman Chip Roy from Texas.
Is mentally impaired. If a Republican did what she did,
is cracking under pressure. His tectonic plates are moving a lot lately. He's still trying to convince the MAGAverse that he didn't blow it on Tuesday night. He is clearly terrified of facing her again. According to Rolling Stone, members of Trump's inner circle think another debate would be a bad idea. They say,
did Jimmy Kimmel just poke the bear? Trump's Twitter meltdown after Kimmel's jokes about Melania and Laura Loomer has everyone talking. Is this the comedy showdown of the century? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. From B-Best to B-List, Kimmel's roast of the Trump clan has set social media on fire. But is Trump's furious response just adding fuel to the flames? Stick around to see how this battle of wits unfolds. Jimmy Kimmel's been at it again, folks. He's taken his comedy show and turned it into a full-on Trump roast extravaganza. And boy, did he go for the jugular this time. Kimmel started poking the orange bear with some zingers about Melania that had the audience in stitches. One of his killer jokes was about Melania's new jewelry line. You have Melania, who's hawking a $600 vote freedom necklace right now, Kimmel quipped. But he didn't stop there. He added, it has Lady Liberty on the front and nothing behind it, just like Melania herself. Ouch, that's gotta sting. But Kimmel wasn't done. He decided to drag Laura Loomer into the mix, doubling down on the mockery. He joked that Laura Loomer is so far right, she thinks the left is just a place to park your car. Talk about a political burn.
Only Donald Trump would bring a 9/11 conspiracy theorist to the 9/11 memorial. The dog whistle in for a tuba, folks. Only the best people. Only these Republicans, they get all nuts when you say they're weird. Here's Congressman Chip Roy from Texas. Will smell like curry. And White House speeches facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback.
As Kimmel's jokes kept coming, you could almost hear Trump's Twitter fingers twitching. It was like watching a comedy volcano about to erupt, and erupt it did. Trump couldn't hold back anymore and exploded on social media, proving that Kimmel's comedic missiles had hit their target dead on.
Is mentally impaired. If a Republican did what she did, Republican did what?
Right now.
A fantastic woman, a true patriot, Laura Loomer. This woman is amazing. Laura Loomer. And if you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country. Anybody would know this.
Trump, in his usual style, lashed out at Kimmel, calling him unfunny and talentless. But let's be real, if Kimmel was so unfunny, why was Trump getting his toupee in a twist? The result, Kimmel's ratings went through the roof.
She did.
Viewers were tuning in left and right to watch the Trump takedown. It was like a David and Goliath story, but with more laughs and fewer slingshots. The comedy world watched in awe as Kimmel went toe-to-toe with the former president. It was like watching a lightweight boxer dance circles around a grumpy old heavyweight. Trump supporters tried to rally, but they couldn't outlaugh Kimmel's audience. It was a comedy massacre. In the end, Kimmel's show became more than just late-night entertainment. It turned into a platform for some serious political satire. And while Trump's base might have been fuming, the rest of America was having a good old laugh at the expense of the man who can't seem to take a joke. Who knew comedy could be such a powerful weapon? Remember when presidents used to have better things to do than pick fights with late-night comedians? Well, not anymore. Trump's about to show us why he should probably hire a Twitter babysitter.
2 days before the debate, Laura Loomer posted this disgusting little nugget. She wrote, if Kamala Harris wins the White House, she wrote, this is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. And yet somehow this Laura Loomer, she's traveling all over the country with Trump on his plane. Little nugget.
Spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. Trump's fingers were working overtime, tapping out tweets faster than his toupee flaps in a windstorm. At first, he tried to play it cool, acting like Kimmel's jokes were just water off a duck's back. But that facade crumbled faster than a sandcastle at high tide. As Kimmel kept the jokes coming, Trump's tweets got wilder and more frequent. It was like watching a presidential version of Whack-A-Mole, with Trump popping up to swat at every punchline. He tried to counterpunch, but his comebacks were about as effective as a wet noodle in a sword fight. And then in a move that that screamed, "I
She's
can't take a
traveling all over the
joke." Trump called for FCC regulations on what he called fake late-night shows.
Through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand, which was so vile and racist. Not only has she been pushing the cat and dog eating lie, today she said Haitian immigrants aren't just eating cats and dogs, they eat humans.
If a Republican did what she did, that Republican would be impeached and removed from office.
Is cracking under pressure. His tectonic plates are moving a lot lately. He's still trying to convince the MAGAverse that he didn't blow it on Tuesday night.
Yep, you heard that right. The guy who used to host The Apprentice now wants to be the TV police. Talk about thin skin. Trump's meltdown became the butt of even more jokes. Comedians across the country were rubbing their hands together thinking Christmas came early this year. One Kimmel fan even tweeted, "Kimmel's roasting Trump harder than the Mar-a-Lago kitchen step roasts his steaks." Ouch. Political analysts started weighing in on this comedy feud, and let's just say they weren't giving Trump any gold stars. They suggested that his aggressive response might push away moderate voters faster than a skunk at a garden party. Turns out most folks like their leaders to have a sense of humor. Who knew? The public reaction was split faster than a banana in a sundae. Trump's base cheered him on like he was wrestling a bear, while others were laughing at his inability to take a joke. It was like watching two different movies in the same theater. In the end, Trump's Twitter tirade proved once again that in the world of politics, sometimes the best defense is a good sense of humor. And if you can't laugh at yourself, well, don't worry. The rest of us will do it for you. And so what have we learned from this epic showdown between Kimmel and Trump? Well, it turns out that a good joke packs more punch than an angry tweet. Who knew? Kimmel's Roast Fest didn't just give us a good laugh. It showed how comedy can shape what people think about politics.
Wrong with Kamala. And I just don't know what it is, but there is definitely something missing. The great Laura Loomer. Some of you know Laura. She's a fantastic person, great woman.
This is another one. If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry. So another racist attack.
He is clearly terrified of facing her again. According to Rolling Stone, members of Trump's inner circle think another debate would be a bad idea. They say
it's like he was throwing comedy grenades, and Trump was trying to catch them with his tiny hands. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out too well for old Donnie Diapers. This whole mess reminds us that late-night comedy isn't just about making us giggle before bed. It's got some serious muscle when it comes to political chit-chat. Kimmel and his comedian pals are like the court jesters of our time, poking fun at the king and getting away with it. As the dust settles and we wipe away our tears of laughter, we're left scratching our heads. Who really came out on top in this battle of wits? Was it Kimmel with his sharp jokes? Or Trump with his, angry capitals and exclamation marks? I think we all know the answer to that one. Sorry, Grumpy Trumpy.